Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corina and today is Money Monday. Today I'm so excited to talk to you guys about choosing hard things and how to find joy in the process of choosing them. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay guys, so I have to ask, have you ever experienced something where you've shared an experience with a friend and basically like something that you feel like you've overcome or that you have seen yourself through, and then all of a sudden the same issue comes up again and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this place once again. So that totally happened to us this week. I was sharing with our teenagers just how to make hard decisions and the fact that all of the easy things of life, like those easy decisions, aren't necessarily the best decisions, right? It's easy in their case, right? It's easy to go along with whatever their friends are doing and what peer pressure is telling them, and it's easy to not make waves, right? It's easy to not stand up for what they believe in right now. And I found myself and my husband, a few days after I was sharing this with our teenagers one night, that we were in the middle of making a decision that was basically a hard decision, and it was really complicated. And I'll be honest, like either way that we would have gone would have been a good decision and would have been a decision that we were happy with, but we had to really look at our principles and how we're living and how we want to live our life and what will give us the best road to financial freedom and financial peace in this time. So we ultimately had to make a decision, and it was a tough decision to make, and it gave us joy to make that decision and to know that we were choosing the hard thing so that one day we can choose the easy things, and one day the easy things will be easy for us. You know, we won't have to choose between the two. But making those hard decisions is definitely not easy, and in our case it was a decision to go to a bigger apartment to give ourselves more space and to allow one of the kiddos who likes to hang out with us to have his own space in our home basically. And we decided ultimately against that option. It was really tough, but we decided that our progress in our financial journey right now is more important than being able to give a door for him basically. And so giving him experiences and different things within the next year or so was more important to us than just having a door for him to close when he comes over and hangs out with us, because we want to create a family atmosphere anyway. So that being said, let's talk about the hard decisions and how to make hard decisions. So today I want to share with you guys 3 tips that we use and that we have literally just used to make difficult decisions when you're really stuck between like 2 good decisions, right? And figuring out what is the best one for your life and for your circumstance at that time. So tip number 1 is to make a pro-con list. Now, this is something that I have always done pretty much forever, ever since I had to start making decisions about anything. And I love to make pro-con lists. I make them and I weigh out every situation. I really look at what are the pros of each situation, what are the cons of each decision, and how we'll feel making that decision. You know, will these pros still outweigh the cons 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now? Will the pros over on this side outweigh the pros on this side 2 months from now when we're in the middle of this decision and we're seeing it kind of play out? And will we think to ourselves, yeah, this was still a good idea, or no? So making a pro-con list is really beneficial because you're able to weigh out the benefits and the negatives of both situations or both decisions. Alright guys, and tip number 2 is to think about your why. So ask yourself, why are you in this process? Whatever your decision is that you're looking to make, think about the process that you're in. So for us, our financial journey, right, we're in the middle of this process and we have this big goal to get our credit card debt and my husband's student loans paid off before the end of 2017. We wrote that on our goal board in the very beginning of the year, and we have been charging towards that, and each month we've been just marking off each debt as we go along and adjusting what's due on that board, and really just looking forward to making progress. And we're so excited every time we get to slash one off and say paid off next to it. And so for us, we had to think about our why, and the reason that we have made so many decisions that we've made over the past year and a half is to get to a point of financial freedom. And so that why doesn't change because our circumstance changes. That why doesn't change because we get a little bit more income or because there's like a new need necessarily. That why is still the same. That why is still what's grounding us. And so we had to look at our why and think about what has been driving us to this point. In our journey, we're literally less than 6 months away from accomplishing that goal, and that will be before the end of this year. And so looking at that and knowing that our why is so close, like we can taste it, it's so close, is it worth it to really put that aside for something else that feels good in the moment and feels better right now? Or is it better to continue charging towards that why, continue making sacrifices, and know that once that why is accomplished, new doors will be opened up and new opportunities will be available to us? So for our particular scenario and situation right now, we know that in 6 months from now, we can make a decision to move to a larger place, or to, have more space, or to do something different that will be more comfortable for us in that time, because we'll have such a bigger, flexible income to work with than it would be if we did that right now. If we were to have chosen right now to move to a larger place, we would have gone back to a very scaled down, very minimal budget, and even a very minimal shovel of digging ourselves out of our debts. And so we had to weigh out that situation, and knowing that we would add at least double the time to that payoff length, that really drove us back to our why. And we said to each other, our big why for this year is to get to this point. And if we can get to this point before the year is even up, then we have so many more opportunities available, and so many new chances to make new decisions that are based around a new why. So go back to your why and really look at it and think about it, and figure out if your decision backs up your why, or if your decision takes you away from that why. Alright guys, and tip number 3 for making hard decisions in your financial journey is to seek advice from those around you who support your journey. So whether you have an accountability partner, whether you have a financial partner, whether you have someone who's just close to you, who's either, family member or a really close friend who's on a similar journey, or who is totally cheering you on in your journey and motivating you and encouraging you, seek them out and talk to them and weigh out the issue with them and tell them how you're feeling about both things. Bring before them your pro-con list, remind them of your why, and tell them what you're leaning towards, and just ask for their advice back. My husband and I are obviously each other's biggest partner in this, and so we talked it through a lot, and I also took it to my mom, who's been a really great support for us and who's been an accountability for us ever since we started this journey. It's really encouraged my parents to get their finances together as well, as they're looking towards retirement, and they have been our biggest cheerleaders in every time we pay off a debt, we let them know, and every time we've made a little bit more progress, we've told them about it, and they've celebrated with us. And so going to my mom and just talking this out with her, telling her what our options were, and she was really the one who encouraged us to kind of just slow down and really think about our goals again, and to go over everything one more time. And one thing that she said to us was, I know that whichever decision you guys are going to make, it's going to be a good one, because you will have fully weighed out the options and weighed out the scenarios in both of these decisions. But whichever one you choose, I'm going to support you. And so when we told her what the decision was, she totally agreed with us and backed us up again. And one thing she said while we were kind of in the midst of decision making was, "What would Dave Ramsey say to do?" And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is why we have accountability partners and support. So I know I can get really caught up in the emotions behind a decision and stop looking at the principles behind why we're living and why we're doing things the way that we are. So having that little reminder of what would Dave Ramsey do, or what would he say in this scenario, I totally just heard, myself like calling in on his channel or his radio show. I'm like, Dave, we have this situation, what would you say? And I can totally hear his voice and what he would recommend for us. So knowing that we were making our decision based around those things, and that we had the support, we weighed out our pro-cons, and we could find peace in either way the decision went, was really beneficial. But having that extra layer of support is so crucial. So I encourage you, if you are single and you are in your financial freedom journey, I encourage you to get someone who is on board with you, who will stand behind you and encourage you in the principles, who will walk alongside you and be your biggest cheerleader and biggest fan as you're going through this, because it's not easy, and these hard decisions do come up, and we are emotional creatures, and so our emotions sometimes can get the better of us, whereas the principles and our why and making the best choice for the moment and for our why, to accomplish our why, is what's most important. So guys, those are 3 tips I have to share with you today on how to make hard decisions, especially when in your financial journey. These are tips that I think you can apply to any phase of your life, and especially any phase of your financial journey as well. We have had time and time again where we've had a situation come up and we've had to do these things and go back to these steps and make a decision, really weighing out the benefits of it, the negative of it, what our life would look like 6 months from now or 3 months from now or a year from now if we made each decision. And so really having these principles to make decisions on is really beneficial. I feel it's been beneficial to us as a family, and so I hope that it's beneficial to you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this Money Monday video. I pray that it encourages you and helps you along in your financial journey. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give me a thumbs up so that I know that you've liked this type of video, and don't forget to subscribe to join me next week for another Money Monday, and also throughout the week as I share some other videos, lifestyle and faith and all that good stuff in between. Have an amazing Monday, friends, and I will talk to you soon. And if you have a tip for how to make hard decisions, I would love to know in a comment below. So be sure to let us know so that we can grab onto your tips and use them for ourselves as well. Have a great day, friends. I'll talk to you soon. Exact same thing. Kiki! Stop it! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The cone wonder. She's back. So hey guys, I still have my cone. It's awful. I hate it. Thank you guys so much for watching this Monday. Whoop.